And as I said, I'm Holly Wade, and I've been at this for a few years. So I actually started with Pilates and then went into yoga from there. So I couldn't quite calm myself down enough to do yoga. I had to go there through Pilates. But that's what this class will be. It'll be a blend of yoga and Pilates. And the core is actually kind of everything. If you cut off your neck, your arms, and your legs, your entire torso is really your core. And what we're trying to do through a regular practice, for lack of a better word, is to realign that spine into its correct soft S positioning. So that's the goal. All right, we'll connect those sits bones to the ground. And we're just going to take a few minutes just to kind of let go of what else has happened today and just allow ourselves to come present into our bodies. So rolling those shoulders up by the ears and sliding those shoulders down the back, hands resting wherever it's most comfortable, and the eyes can close, or just a soft gaze to the ground. Now we're going to observe our breath a little bit differently and really kind of tune into our bodies, because we'll be focusing on two styles of breath. And the first is the yoga breath, which is the belly breath. So you might take your hands to the front of your rib cage just so you can feel that expansion and that deep breath into your diaphragm. And as you exhale, just let that belly soften. Let's try one more breath in and out with the belly breath. And then we're going to flip it into a Pilates breath, which is on the back side. So if you bring your knees up and place your hands at the lower part of your rib cage, you'll feel your fingertips spread apart as you inhale. And then you'll notice that they close back in with your exhale. But there's more expansion to the back side than there is on the belly. So it's kind of a flip. And as we get into the exercises, you'll understand why. Go ahead and take one more breath in and out. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see what's going to happen. So with those feet still up, or those knees still bent, let's go ahead and lengthen through the spine. Imagine this zipper going from the pelvis through the crown of the head. So we're lightly bracing through the abdominals. Hands can rest behind your knees if you'd like. Shoulders stay relaxed as we go through this. So imagine just like a little bowl kind of opening up right at your belly button, and pull that belly button in, and as you do, that low back will roll down. We're only going to go about halfway, so you'll notice that point where your feet kind of start to want to lift off, but you can still keep them on the ground. That is your point. Inhale here, and as you exhale, roll back through and stack those vertebrae. Exhaling, melting into that belly button, rolling back. Shoulders are relaxed. Big breath in. And as you exhale, rolling back up. It's okay, that's why we're here.
I don't know if we're whistling.
That's good, but stretched out. Rolling through. Stay right here. And coming back up. I will tell you this. I was a big fitness person, did all these crunches and all this stuff. I did not have strong abs until I started doing Pilates.
Really?
Really. Because what we do, we'll go ahead and do one more. Because what we do in crunches is we're only working the rectus abdominis.
Mm-hmm.
That muscle doesn't do anything.
Ah.
It's not the supporting muscle. And, you know, that's what we're told. That's what you do for the six-pack.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything. So it's the obliques and the transverse abdominis, and it's this melting down that makes us kick in that transverse abdominis. So you're gonna, you might notice some things tomorrow. We'll put it that way. Yeah, lucky you. You all will be calling me, Holly, what did you do? So same idea, but we're going to engage those obliques this time. So the arms come out to the front, and as you exhale, we just reach back. So we come back into that little bit of a boat. Inhale and come back up. Exhale, go to the other side. Inhale as we lengthen up through the spine. And there's no pace that you have to go at. Just think more about the integrity of the exercise. And if you start to compromise, just don't go so deep. Meaning if you start to compromise your form or you know your feet are lifting up, then just don't go so far back. And let's go one more time. Beautiful. So from here, little change. So we melted back, still warming up our spine, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Let's roll down from the top of the spine until you're just kind of hovering over those knees, and then stack those vertebrae back up. So it's an exhale as we roll down, and it's that Pilates breath. If you can think about the back side of your body, keeping those abdominals lightly engaged. One more time. Excellent. Let's lie face up on the mat. I'm getting into the fun part.
Like, I'm already feeling this. This is crazy.
Because, and again, so here's the difference. So with crunches, this was the only thing firing.
Uh-huh.
And when we stabilize, it's all, it's like the corset.
I'm feeling it like right.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's the corset, it's kind of that corset
Oh, okay.
effect, like the whole thing. Yeah. Yes, it's a game changer. So stop doing crunches. That is my point. Okay, feet flat on the floor. Now let's watch the knees and make sure that they don't flail out. So really engage those inner thighs. Let's start with third finger on your top, on the top of your hips, thumb on the bottom ribs. And all we're going to do is learn how to engage through the transverse abdominis. So as you exhale, kind of pull, imagine those four corners pulling in toward your belly button. So there's really hardly any movement. Inhale and lengthen back out. So your low back might touch the floor as you engage. It might not. We're not really concerned about whether it does or not. We just want to learn how to engage that transverse abdominis. And one more time. Perfect. Now, with that engagement, we will do the Pilates version of a crunch. So instead of just a lifting up, we want to think about, as we curl, we'll peel the head up first, and then each vertebrae lifts up. We're reaching toward our feet, and everything is, it's like your ribs slide into your hips, so this stays flat, rather than pushing up. And then we roll back down and lengthen. So we'll try 8 of these. As we exhale, curl from the head, reach for those toes. Good, as we inhale, lengthening back down. Now if you feel tension in your neck as you're doing these, go ahead and support your head with one hand. And you can switch it around as you go. Looks like today's going to be a little more Pilates and less yoga. That's okay. 7. Yeah. And we have one more. Beautiful. And the nice thing that I saw with all of you is you weren't curling through those shoulders. They were staying open. So perfect. All right, so we're going into what is called the abdominal series in Pilates. So you're gonna feel some fire in that core. When you start to get to a point where you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, change it into a mantra in your head or some kind of an affirmation, like, I'm getting stronger. As I build up my body, I'm building up myself, whatever you need to be. You got this. Whatever it is that motivates you, just say that repetitively in your head. So this one's called the 100. You can keep those feet on the floor. You can bring those legs up so the knees are over the hips. You can extend. This would be the next most challenging level, and this would be the most difficult. So you choose your leg position, and you can always back down. And you know that you're losing that position when you can no longer keep this engaged. So as we exhale, we come on up, and then we're going to go into a Lamaze breath. The arms pump from the back of the arms. So here we go. 20. 40. Now if you can, see if you can lift those shoulders up a little more or pull the belly in a little more. 60. 80. 20 or 100. Go ahead and pull those knees in. You can lower that head down because it gets a little sore. And that gets a little sore. Those are muscles too. And moving into scissors. So the legs come up. We go back into that ab prep. And with this one, you're kind of like a reach, reach, switch, reach, reach. And the breath is a... Good. Reach, reach. Eight. One more time each side. And go ahead, bring those knees in, lower down. Good. Let's go ahead and just circle through those legs or rock and roll side to side. Give that low back a little bit of a break. And then we have the obliques. So the legs come up, and imagine instead of like thinking about pulling the knees in, because a lot of times this is what we do. Instead, actually let's just do the upper body to teach it to you. Go ahead and come into your ab prep. Now instead of curling up, what I'd like you to think about is pulling your armpit back. Back to center, pull the other armpit back. Back to center. So it's a little different kind of movement. Perfect. All right, so let's add those legs. Now when the leg comes up, you're reaching with that opposite foot and then just coming back to center. Good. 9. One more time. Beautiful. Knees into the chest. Let's give it a break. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and roll over onto our bellies so we're face down and start to work the back side of the body a little bit. So we'll start with swimmer. So this is an opposite arm, opposite leg, and I want you to think about reaching or extending. So lots of fire in the glutes, lots of fire in the shoulder. And then switch. And then switch. Switch. Now if you want, you can pick it up and go a little faster. And imagine like if you're splashing water, you're splashing it up. Now the breath is in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. And go ahead and lower down. Just turn your head to one side. Let your body rest for a moment. Perfect. All right, moving into our yoga. So take those feet about the width of your mat so that we have space for our tailbone. Mid and upper back. So bring those hands to your sides, palms up. Let's roll those shoulders by the ears and then reach toward those feet. And it's not about how high we go. Good, your head just gazes right over the top of your mat. Breath in, exhale and lower down, turning your head to one side, doesn't matter. Beautiful, and again, inhaling, exhaling as we reach toward those feet. And as we exhale, we'll lower down and turn to one side. Let's go ahead and do 2 more of those. And one more time. You're always connecting to your own breath. We don't have to stay in any kind of a pattern or rhythm or beat together. So hands by the shoulders, let's press on back into child's pose. Give that low back a bit of a break. Knees are open. Arms can extend to the top of the mat, or if that bothers your shoulders today, you can rock your hands at your sides. As you exhale, go ahead and roll through, coming back up to seated. Beautiful. So a little kind of a plank, or the concept of a plank to stabilize through the abdominals. Knees seal together, hands are right under the shoulders. Now instead of pushing up like we would in a downward dog, we want to think about our knees just hovering the mat and pulling more toward our hands. And then the shoulder blades pulling down and away. So kind of think about the palms of your hands pulling toward your knees and your knees pulling toward your hands. We'll hold for 10 counts. Here we go. Now just breathe normal at your own pace. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Take care of your wrists, do whatever you need to, because we were on them for a little bit. Always kind of an important thing, and let's do that one more round. It's one of my favorites, actually. It didn't used to be. I'll put it that way. It's funny. It's funny how those things happen. You're like, oh, well, now I can do it, so now it's one of my favorites. Yeah. Knees toward the hands, shoulders toward the feet. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Let's take care of those wrists. So a couple of fun ones to finish. Let's do a little flow between down dog and child's pose. So we'll start there. Let's go ahead and start in our child's pose. And we'll progress it. Or I'll show you the progression, but stay where you need to. Even if it's a combo, it's totally fine. So the fingertips reach to the top of the mat. Find your belly button because that's where we're driving from. So shift your weight forward until your heart is between your hands. We've got this nice long line from the knees to the head. Now if you want to check it, just go into a full plank real quick and then lower your knees down. That's where you want to be. Perfect. So imagine a little campfire under your belly button, so we're not doing this thing, we're engaging. Now push with those hands, drag back with that belly button, and come back into your child's pose. And again, inhaling forward, exhaling back. They're nice, long, slow breaths. There's no rush. Now if you want to progress, you can go to a full plank, fold at the hips, and come into your down dog. Into your full plank. Fold at the hips and come into your down dog. Beautiful. Now watch that down dog, because there's a couple of temptations with it. One is to think that our legs have to be straight, which means we often compromise that low back. The other is to overarch. So engage those abdominals. You want that nice flat spine here. There we go, beautiful. Inhaling. I can see, believe it or not. And we'll do one more of these. Go ahead and take care of those wrists, take care of shoulders or any body parts that you need to. So you're welcome to come into child's pose, you're welcome to just sit, take care of what you need to, because they're all working and stabilizing too. All right, the last one. So we'll do a little side plank. And with this, we'll add a little rotation. So, elbow right under the shoulder, hip can be down, foot is kind of connected, or you can go straight. Lifting up when you're ready, or going to your full when you're ready. Now, if you're okay with coming up onto your hand and your wrist, that's okay too. Some people, the shoulder is better. Good, so pressing down into that forearm, lifting up into the rib cage, top foot is in front. Beautiful. If you want, arm extends up. If you want, stack the feet. If you want, little star shape. I've built back up to this, I will tell you. Beautiful. Now, if you can, this is where we have to be really careful. Use the belly button. And you'll rotate, facing down. Rotate, come back. Please be careful with that shoulder. That's why the rotation comes from here. Take all the time you need. See if you can do 3 or 2 or 1.5. That's okay. Beautiful. Let's go to the other side. Hello. Elbow right under the shoulder or up on the wrist if you want. Top leg long, lift up through the hip, push down into that forearm or the elbow. Good. Keep pulling up into the hip. You've got your variations. Here, 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 here. Your shoes. And that hand can always come away too. Now whenever you're ready, take your time from the belly button to gently roll and gently come back. If that compromises your shoulder, don't do it. And once you've done your 1.5, 2 or 3, you're welcome to end. Beautiful. Let's just lie on our backs. Let's pull those knees into the chest. Take care of any body parts that you need to. Roll side to side, whatever it is that you need. Just do a couple of things because we actually have stretched But go ahead and lower that left leg down. Let's bring that right knee across and come into a little spinal twist. And let's go ahead and switch it around. So the left knee is in the chest. And send that leg across the body for your little twist. Coming back to center and just let yourself go into whatever position you want to. Just relax for the next few minutes. Might be in a star shape, might be palms on your belly, doesn't matter. If you want cedarwood oil, go ahead and keep your palms up, and I'll place it on your on the middle of your forehead, your third eye, the temples, and the base of your neck. It's just a calming essential oil. If you're not interested in that, go ahead and just turn your palms down so I know. Turn one palm down. So and just focus on those nice, deep, full breaths. Allow relaxation into your body for a few minutes. If you're clenching at your jaw, go ahead and separate your back teeth. Your heart moves up. Your shoulders drop. Go ahead and take the deepest, fullest breath in that you possibly can. And when you can't let in any more air, open up the lips. Let it all go. Let any of that tension in your body, any stress, any whatever is going on, let it go. And go ahead and do that a couple more times. And then take all the time that you need to take care of any body parts that need a little attention. And just gently let yourself come up to seated when you're ready. Thank you so much for being here today, ladies. You can turn your face. Namaste. Thanks for coming and taking care of you so you can go take care of whatever you got to take care of. But that time, that us time is really, really important. So welcome to Zen Lounge. Welcome to experiencing it. Please, please, please recruit people and bring them here.